What's going on, guys? Welcome to Black and Nerdy Tabletop. I'm your host, Zephynix, and today we are taking a look at the Necromancer. So the Necromancer is the brand new class, one of the brand new classes for Paizo's Pathfinder Second Edition, and it's crazy because my brothers and I were all asking the same question. We was like, well, if a Necromancer is by itself and not with the Wizard, how can it not be a Wizard subclass? That's crazy talk. And honestly, I couldn't picture it either. I could picture like, okay, well, this is better for the I forget what they're called. You got to excuse me, but they were the two characters in Castlevania, the original Castlevania for Netflix, and they were more necromancers, but we made them as clerics because that was the closest thing that we can do. So a necromancer would be hella better for that, and that's kind of what the whole thing with Pathfinder is. Pathfinder, you'll always find classes, even ancestries, better suited for the characters that you want to make, other than, especially when compared to D&D. But at any rate, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, all right, key attributes, intelligence, that's, par for the course. This is not, though. This is interesting. 8 plus your constitution modifier? Okay, so usually wizards have like 6 or something like that, so that's nice. Perception, trained to perception, not, only trained to perception, so that's not surprising at all. This is surprising, though. Expert in fortitude. So, yeah, it looks like they got slightly better health than wizards due to the constant use of dark magic and stuff like that. So that's interesting because wizards they're expert in will, but Necros are expert in fortitude. That's interesting. Anyway, trained in additional skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier, like wizards. All down the list here are like wizards as well. So simple weapons, light armor. Yeah, so definitely like wizards. Let's scroll down here. This is just tells you about them and things of that nature. If you want to pause the video, read this, you can. Definitely looks like it looks like some interesting reading. Just how they see a necromancer. What did I read? I just read this real quick here. You have a feverish desire to study the anatomy, the body of creatures you discover along the way. That's interesting. Imagine for a second you being a necromancer and you're just kind of looking, you just kind of get enthralled in the body, and it's interesting. Like his arms are slightly adjacent to his. Interesting. Let's scrolling down here. So let's look at the list here. Interesting. What the heck is Grim Fascination? Consume Thrall thing. All right, let's go for Necromancer. So I clicked here earlier trying to figure out what it was here that Necromancers are. Are they prepared spellcasters? It looks like they are. So you can prepare 1 spell rank, and yeah, so I think they're prepared spellcasters like wizards, so that's not a bad thing at all. Heightened spells, heightened spells work the same. Cantrips work the same. Dirge is interesting choice of words here because it reads here, your occult spells become a part of your internal dirge that echoes throughout your body, bones, and even your spirit. Each day you prepare your spells, you pull forth pieces of your dirge to vocalize. Your dirge contains your choice of 10 occult cantrips. Interesting. And 5 first rank occult spells. These from the common spells on your occult spell list, or from other occult spells you gain access to. Okay. That's definitely one of those you got to put a character together to truly get a hold of. So, spells. You get the 5 cantrips. You got 1 first level spells, 2 first level spells. You don't get no higher than 2 second level spells. This tells me right here, especially since this is clearly a spellcasting class, that we are looking at a character with a lot of focus abilities. Let's see what this is. Grave spells. Your necromantic powers allows you to create unique effects called grave spells. Grave spells are a type of focus spell, called it. It costs 1 focus point to cast a focus spell. You refill your focus pool during your preparations, and you gain. What is the spells though? It doesn't really tell the spells. Got it. Grave cantrips. Okay, interesting. Grave cantrips are a special grave spell that don't cost focus points. Yeah, that's what they are, cantrips. This is interesting. Um, you learn to create Thrall grave cantrip, which allows you to summon an expendable Thrall to attack for you. Okay. So let's click on create Thrall for a second here. I want to take a look at here. You conjure forth an expendable undead Thrall in range. You have the if you have the expert necromancy class feature, you can create up to 2 Thralls. Interesting. Increasing to 3 if you have to master a necromancy, and 4 legendary necromancy. Okay. Is this a feat? Hold on a second. Oh. Okay. I got scared for a second there. Expert necromancy, you get that at 7th level. Got it. Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. It pushed me back here. I got to go back to what I was reading originally. Okay. So that is actually okay. So you get that at level 7. Okay, and we'll be seeing more of that later on. Okay. Let me go back to look at create Thrall again. When you cast a spell, you can have up to 1 of your Thralls created by the spell to make a melee unarmed strike using your spell attack modifier for the attack roll. Oh my! This attack deals your choice of either 1d8 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. And this strike uses the count towards your multiple attack penalty. Okay, so that's very interesting. Let me read that again. When you cast a spell, you can have up to 1 Thrall created by the spell to make an unarmed. Okay, so when you cast a spell, you can only control 1 Thrall, but it doesn't say at a time though. So yeah, it looks like every time you can only control 1 Thrall at a time, maybe. It's definitely going to require some getting into. This is my first look at it. So, consume Thrall? Hold on a second. The cycle of necromancy allows you to eradicate one of your own Thralls to restore some of your magic and use your grave spells more frequently. That is interesting. And I say that's interesting because if you read right here, under grave cantrips, it says you use a spell create Thrall. So you can create a Thrall and then absorb it to go ahead and take up the power of the Thrall to use your grave spells. Grave Fascination. As a Necromancer, you select 1 Grim Fascination at level 1. First level, rather. This Fascination is a focus of necrotic study that you have to develop that you have developed a greater mastery over. However, Grim Fascinations don't prevent you from studying and using other forms of necromancy. Your choice of Grim Fascinations grants you a class feat that gives you. Okay, great. But bone, flesh, and spirit. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, and they affect your Thralls. Let's see. Bone Sharpener. Bone Sharpener, also known as Archetypes. Oh, they have a name. Oh, that's awesome. Craft what you desire. Craft what they desire from their skeletons of the dead, or simply create new skeletons by expanding and shaping bones to be. That's awesome. Cast feat, bone spear. With bone, every bone within a Thrall is a potential weapon when needed. You learn the bone spear grave spell. Oh, great. But my question was. Bone Spear. You shape a Thrall into a Jagger Bone Spear. Destroy one of your Thralls and make a melee spell roll against the AC of each creature within 15 foot. The spear deals 1d8 piercing damage. The spell counts as 2 attacks. Okay, hold on. So you literally take a Thrall, it looks like, and you forge him into a spear and just kind of shoot him? Like, just make him shoot? Because it doesn't say destroy one of your Thralls, then make a melee... No. It says then make a melee spell attack roll against the AC of the creature in a 15-foot line. Okay. So it looks like what you do actually is, I thought at first that you actually create the weapon for yourself. No, what you do is you actually kind of like just take your Thrall, your skeleton Thrall, and just force his bones into like just a spear real quick, exactly where it is. It says the spear does 1d8 piercing damage, or double if it's critical. Where was that? The spell counts as 2 attacks towards your attack modifier, but the penalty does not increase until after this attack is made. Okay. Woo. Okay, so that means basically what that last one means is that when you first do the attack, it'll be how much of the penalty you'll take dependent on how many attacks you did prior. So, for example, if this is your first attack, there's no penalty. The problem is if you do an attack after this, then you have to. It's 2 penalties, which means that it's a -10. Unk. So that's that one. And general fleet is flee. Okay, you move faster. Okay, fair enough. Flesh magicians. Flesh magicians, also known as Chiromancers. Oh my God, I love how they have a name. I'm so happy they did this. Are expected are experts at the destruction, production, and manipulation of flesh and muscles. This would be the guys from, I can't remember their names right now, what they were called, but these would be the guys from Castlevania. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Deadweight. That way you can manipulate the muscles and joints of your foes to delay their movements. So you can actually cast this on your actual... Damn, that's good. Toughness. You can stand bigger and more punishment. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. Oh, I never looked at this. Your Thralls are well constructed and nimble. Whenever one or more of your Thralls would take damage from an effect requiring a reflex save, you can attempt a DC 15 flat check. If you succeed, you choose one Thrall to take no damage, and on a critical success, none of the Thralls take damage. Wow, okay, interesting. Thrall enhancement right here, it says, for the flesh one, you can still make you can make use of a destroyed Thrall's flesh. Whenever one of your Thralls is destroyed, you can cause the Thrall to leave behind a difficult terrain in the space that they were destroyed in. Wow, that's interesting. Spiritmonger, also known as Vitamancers. That's even awesomer. Seeks the secrets of the soul and play with the eternal energies of the living dead. Their Thralls often resemble the ghosts and spirits. I actually want to play this one. I definitely do. Life tap. You learn a life tap grave spell, which basically is the same. Long story short, it says the creature is drained. You get drained 1, but recovers after 1 minute. You or an ally of your choice within 50 feet of the Thrall regain hit points equal to the amount lost by the teacher becoming drained. That's a really good spell. And the creature is drained? Oh my goodness. That is great. That is great. I'm just kind of reading a thing right here. So if they roll a success, it looks like they have to do a fortitude save. So if they do a critical success, they're unaffected by the spell. If they do a success, they're drained 1, which means that everything is -1 when you're drained. So you're every physical movement, I think even magical might be slightly by 1 point down. So it's really good to have. And that lasts for a whole minute. So that's around 10 rounds. You or an ally of your choice gains the hit points if that's a success. If it's failure, you're drained 2. If it's a critical failure, it's drained 3. Oh, that is rough. Die Hard. It takes more to kill you than most. You die from the dying condition at dying 5 rather than 4. Okay, so you die. It takes you a while to die. That makes sense. Thrall enchantment. Your thralls, while still being tied to a physical world, have an incorporeal essence. Whenever one of your thralls would deal physical damage, you can choose for that damage to be spirit or void damage instead. Wow. So I'm feeling this now. This is a hell of a lot more. And this is a lot more than I thought it would be. You got undead lore, mastery of life and death. So much I want to look into, but I know I ain't got enough time because I can literally feel, whoa. Okay. So let's see here. Just looking up here at level 1. Level 2, you get to choose a Necromancer feat, skill feat. At level 3, general feats, inevitable return at level 3. The dead does not rest around you. You get returned. The death of those around you simply fuel your undead army. You raise a thrall in the triggering corpse of space. The thrall falls apart after 1 minute. Interesting. Grim wards. You have created wards to protect yourself against the mental harm caused by undead creatures and effects. Wow. Your proficiency rank of will saves increased to expert. When you roll a success, your will save. So when you roll a success at a will save against a mental or possession effect caused by the undead or haunt, you get a critical instead. That's good. That means that if you're fighting against another necromancer, let's give an example of that, or something undead, and they cast something like that's supposed to control you, or supposedly like either mental attacks or possession attacks, and you successfully do it, you get a critical success instead. So whatever the critical success would be, you would get that instead of a regular success. I like that. And that's at level 3. Skill increase level 3. Let's keep going. Expert necromancy at level 7. You'll be able to go ahead and you'll be able to make 2 thralls instead of 1. Your perception increases to expert. Your fortitude saves increases to master. Okay, weapon expertise. You've decided your weapon expertise increases to expert. So you're going to have to, like, if you want to go ahead and make like an undead knight or something like that, you're clearly going to have to go ahead and go into the archetypes and try to get some of the fighter stuff from there. So whether you choose fighter or whatever you choose from here, you're definitely going to have to get something, because this is a spellcasting class, hands down. At least that's how it's looking so far. At least here, though, you do get simple weapons. As long as it's a simple weapon, you seem to be alright, though. Either way, at level 11, simple weapons go to expert. Light armor goes to expert. Weapon specialization means that now, with your physical weapons, you now do an additional 2 damage, 3 damage if you're an master rather, and 4 damage if you're a legendary. This is, but I don't think you'll be doing any physical damage. Maybe? No, I don't think I was thinking about that bone spell, but I don't think this qualifies as that. Master necromancy. This, you can make 3 thralls. And whatever the hell, how they pronounce this. So I have the desktop muted, so you couldn't hear that, but trust me, they messed up too. From the deepest crypts of magical knowledge, you summon forth a spell of immense occult power. You gain a single 10th level spell slot and can prepare a spell. Okay, whatever. Interesting. Let's take a look at a couple of Necromancer feats that you can go ahead and pick up. Bone Speaker, so you can recall knowledge about medicine as well as undead lore. I like that. It's almost like speak to the dead. Here's a bone spear spell that we looked at before. You can still get this, so like you don't need to have just a bone necromancers to actually get this. You can take your flesh one, turn it into a spear as well. So that's cool. You still have access to it. You also have access to life tap if you want it. So once again, you're not locked down to what you want to do. Once again, one of the things I love about Pathfinder, you're rarely locked down. How about this one? Reach of the Dead. You channel your necrotic magic through a thrall, expending it in the process. If the next action you use is to cast a spell that has a range, you can you cast that spell for one of your thralls within 60 feet. Okay, fair enough. Oh my goodness, muscle barrier. You create a thick, extra thick layer of muscle to protect your target. Okay. Interesting. Oh, and it turns into muscle barrier, which is a grave spell. Oh, wow. Which makes a lot of sense. Okay. Reaper's weapon familiarity. So, okay. So I'm assuming, yep, scythes, great sword, and all axes. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you can actually become a, advanced as, yeah, okay. So you can definitely become a Death Knight here. I still think that you would probably want to get a couple of more moves from your archetype, but I mean, it is what it is. Body shield. You throw one of your thralls that adjacent to you in place between you and your attacker. I love it. I love it. I really want to sit down and look at all these. Draining strike. Okay, it says that's level 4 too. You draw the life out of your target using both a weapon and your thrall as a conduit, making make a strike. On a success, you can destroy up to 3 thralls that are within 10 feet of you or your target. For each thrall destroyed this way, the strike deals an additional 1d4 spirit damage, and you regain 1d4 hit points. There's a lot going on. So, okay. I can definitely tell you right now. I've seen enough. I can definitely tell you that right here, right now, this is a hell of a spell. I mean, a hell of a class. I was actually interested in the other one, the rune one, but truth be told, let me get back to that. Truth be told, I'm loving the Necromancer. First of all, the Necromancer has a lot of spells. Of course, it has a lot to manipulate their thralls and things of that nature. Let me go back over here because the only problem that I have here right now is like it told me to create a thrall, but it doesn't tell me the actual thrall itself. Like what is the like I can use my thrall and I can use it multiple thralls to go ahead and make a lot of enhance my spells and whatnot, which is cool. I kind of like that. You're using the life force of these thralls to go ahead and do everything. The problem is, like, what are the stats of the thralls? You know? What are the stats of the thralls? And that's the part that's actually getting to me. Let me go ahead and open this up in another link. So it's not telling me the stats of the thralls. Maybe if I go here, create thrall. Yeah, it's not giving me the actual stats of the thralls, which is very, very, very disheartening. Oh, no. Let me see. The Thralls has 1 hit point and it automatically fails all saving throws. Oh, wow. Okay. So there are Thralls there, but it looks like oh, that's the reason why they ain't got nothing. They don't need to because any Thrall that you have only has 1 hit point. That's number 1. And is automatically hit by attacks and automatically fails. Well, damn. I guess you don't need one. Okay. So with that in mind, I do want to take a look at one other thing here. Spells. So this is the another disheartening part of it. So okay, so it's not here, but I can actually fix that. So let me see, traditions. So these would be the spells that you would get. Okay. So as a necromancer, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that create undead is not a necromancer spell. I mean, it's not an occult spell. Let me see. Disrupt the summon undead, rather, or create undead for that matter. Create undead is arcane divine. Oh, it is a cult. How about this one? It doesn't say, but what is create undead? Summon undead. Oh, I was wrong. So you could summon your thralls, but you can also, if it's a cult, because I thought it was, why did I think it was primal? That's stupid. I'm stupid. Stop being stupid. I'm sorry. Just realized how dumb that was. So yeah, looks like I can summon undead, so that works out. And then on top of that, which if you look here for the record, you summon a creature that has the undead trait, which is under. So I'll go ahead and kind of show you guys that real quick here. And then creatures, and while that's loading, let me look up this other one. Create undead. So primary check. As long as you have one of these, okay, you can go ahead and create an undead. That's fine. So let me go back to traditions, occult. I was wrong, and I'm happy that I was wrong. Yep, summon undead. What's going on here? Oh, that's what's going on here. Okay, so here, analyze target, approximate. All these are the occult spells. So detect magic, detect metal, detect thoughts. So there's a lot of different spells. These are all just level 1, by the way. Haunting hymn. What's that? You echo a jarring hymn that only creates creatures in the area. That only creatures in the area can hear. I don't know why I was messing that up. Your hymn deals 1d8 sonic damage with a basic fortitude save. If the target critically fails, it is also deafened for a minute. Ah, nice. And it does additional damage too as it levels up. Those are the spells I like the most. Phase Bolt, Protect Companion. I'm so happy that I was wrong about the thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited that I was wrong. So good amount of spells. Good amount of spells. And these are just, once again, these are level 1 spells. We haven't even gotten to the higher level spells yet. But that also concerns me because there's a lot of spells that we're going here that we got to go ahead. You got to kind of, and you only have 2 spells is what I'm trying to say. You know? So because you only have 2 spells, as a level 1 rank, that's going to be a little bit rough. But here's Summon Undead, which we already talked about that. So, and then you also have Bind Undead, that you'll be able to bind undead to your will. So my guess is you'll be having 2 Summon Undeads, maybe 2 Mimic Undeads, and 2 Bind Undeads. But I think they already know that. So I think they know that you're going to be a pet class and whatnot. So that's how that works. Let's take a look at some of the creatures that you can get when you go ahead and summon undead. So keep in mind, you start off with -1. So crawling hand like the thing, a severed head, skeleton guards, and just looking at that for a second here, skeleton guards, and this are the ones, the thralls aren't the ones that fight for you, though you can use them to fight and attack, and with your spell attack, you can use them as, whatever. But at the end of the day, the skeleton guards are going to be your bread and butter here, because the other ones, they just get hit automatically just because somebody else choose to kill them. So yeah, you're going to want to keep those in the back and your skeleton guard up front, right? So when you do that, this one has a scimitar and a claw attack. Scimitar is a +6. Claw attack is a +6 as well. And he has a range attack as well. So these are, like I said, really, really good ones. Let's see what else we got here. And this is, like I said, -1. A zombie hound, if you really want to get crazy with it. So when you're, like I said, when you summon your undead, you have so many different things that you can choose from. A mummified cat. Get your meow meow on. Like what? Yep. No, I was going to say something, but I didn't want to get demonetized. Not that I'm monetized as of making this video, but I'm just saying. Here's a ghoul stalker. This is interesting. I'm just saying this is just. I mean, it's like playing Pokemon with the undead, you know, which is funny because that's kind of how I see a druid as well. When I'm, you know, summoning creatures and whatnot. But anyway, this one's interesting. It's got a consume flesh thing as well. So at any rate, yeah, you'll be able to summon one of these guys. So like I said before, as the fact that you can create thralls, the fact that you have access to summon undead because it is an occult spell, this can be a great spell. And on top of that, you can have the thralls out. Plus, you can summon any undead that you want. Keep in mind that it looks like you'll have to use. Oh, this one's beware of this. 3 actions to summon it. That is, but it doesn't look like it. Sustain for up to 1 minute. Never mind. I was going to say doesn't look like they die though. Nope, they die. They die. So you can actually sustain it for up to 1 minute. Okay. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. And that also means that if you run out of these spells, keep in mind 1 minute, once again, is around 10 rounds. It's how I usually do it. So a boss fight, he might last most of the boss fight at least. So I don't know. What do you guys think? So far, I got to say that Necromancer is literally one of the best classes that I've seen in a while. And I really wanted to take a look at the other class. But so far, so good. This is the only thing that's concerning me. Is you only have at level 2, you have your maximum spells for level for your first rank spells. You know? And you'll never have more than 2. Now, technically speaking, that's inaccurate because there's always ways to go ahead and increase your spell count. And you'll have to do that because, yeah, interesting. Not a lot of spells going on here for these things. So, yeah, find a way to increase your spell count. Oh, and I'm sorry, one more thing. You do have some undead here on stuff here. So you might be able to, like, for example, Undead Master. Just giving one example here. It's like another one, like something about corpses. You might be able to use one of your books here to go ahead and, not books here, one of your spells here to kind of increase your abilities and whatnot. So, for example, with this one, this looks like it gives you an actual, maybe another additional companion, which increases, like, you can make that companion stronger. So while you do have summon undead, you might be able to go ahead and make it so that way you'll have use one of these archetypes to actually have an undead companion that actually stays with you. So that would be interesting. This is legacy content, by the way. So, but with that being said, I don't care. So most don't. So, yeah, interesting. Let me see if I got another one here before we end this video here. I do believe there's another one about corpses. Corpse tender. There we go. This one's more of an evil one. Let's see here. Command corpse. You gain the undead command undead feat. Okay, fair enough. So I'm just looking through it here. Like I said, these are first impressions here. So there are stuff here that you can definitely do. I think personally, if I was to go ahead and do an archetype, I'm probably going to go with that other one, the Undead Master. The Undead Master seems to give me an actual undead that can be my literal willing thrall here. And so because of that, I can go ahead now and I can create another undead if I wanted to, as well as with my thralls. Or I can actually do this one and just have my undead companion right there, right how, and not have to worry about casting a spell like Create Undead. Though, if I wanted to, I could. So, you know, just for more minions and whatnot. Not that you can control more minions, because when you're controlling more minions, you have to use an action point to control all of your any of your thralls or any of your creatures. So yeah, and yeah, so I would definitely go ahead and do it with Undead Master, which gives me a pet that actually will level up as I level up. So it can be whatever I want it to be, whether it be a skeleton guard or whatever the case I want it to be, a flesh monster, a literal undead gargoyle, especially since, like I said, it is a companion, which means that I can customize it and give it all kinds of extra little tweaks and googles and all I want. Let me know what you guys think of the Necromancer, though. I'm thinking the Necromancer is good, and then with a lot of the archetypes already in place, it's even better. You guys have a good night. I'm out.